Hey folks, and on to the next one. Water, Chrome, and Blood, the Fourth Corporate War. It's truly remarkable that the large-scale bloodshed of the Fourth Corporate War began first as a simple rivalry between two ocean-exploiting corporations, Sino and OTEC. Both corporations vied for the controlling stake of the failing IHA Corporation. OTEC commissioned Miltech to secure its business interests and perform certain special operations. Sino, in turn, signed a cooperation agreement with the Arasaka Corporation with a similar aim. When circumstances at last called for both colossal and prideful security corporations to clash in open combat, the Fourth Corporate War had officially begun. Yet, as is usually the case with corporate conflicts, the onset proved subtle. Arasaka disabled the Miltech transport. Miltech allegedly eliminates a high-ranking official of an Arasaka client. Both sides engage in frequent sabotage and data theft operations. Netrunners from both sides infiltrate data forts to sow confusion, gather intel, and cause chaos in the stock markets. Though none would have thought it possible in those early months, the Arasaka-Miltech conflict truly jeopardized the stability of the world economy, making the threat of complete economic collapse all too real. For this reason, NetWatch introduced a communications embargo on both companies. This is little to slow the conflict's pace, however. While Sino and OTEC had unilaterally reached an agreement through peace talks, tensions between Arasaka and Miltech continued to rise. This separation from the ocean dispute marks the beginning of the Fourth Corporate War's second phase, so-called Shadow War. Military clashes between Miltech and Arasaka were notoriously bloody, brutal, and without mercy. They waged their most damaging campaigns on the net. Arasaka and Miltech netrunners launched attacks with the help of viruses that were often highly experimental. What's more, they created lethal ice measures and AI-like programs that would work in dark corners of the net for long periods to launch strikes at the most opportune times. By the second half of 2022, Arasaka and Miltech entered the final phase of the conflict, where both sides used every resource and strategy at their disposal. The hot war had begun. Around this time, the net that the world had known for years ceased to exist. Mercenaries hired by both corporations were slaughtered in open warfare by cutting-edge weapons technology. Then the war's most shocking and iconic turning point, the coup de grace came when an unknown group of mercenaries detonated a nuclear device at Arasaka's Night City headquarters. Shortly after the blast, bowing under increasing pressure from Japanese government, Arasaka laid down its arms and withdrew from many of its strategic positions, but most notably in Night City. Victory belonged to Miltech, but it came at a heavy cost. What we saw of that in Johnny's memories wasn't accurate to the actual event. Apparently, apparently there was a. I remember seeing some notes on the wiki. Apparently, one of the pen and paper devs was saying that what you saw was wrong. That it wasn't a free trip, a safe trip up in the helicopter. This airspace would have been contested. There was a B team. Well, actually, Johnny was the B team, I think. There was an A team led by Blackhand, who we've read from before here. Blackhand led the other team. After Johnny is killed by Blackhand, well, not Blackhand, Smasher. Smasher kills Johnny, then engages Blackhand. They have a showdown, and the nuke goes off. No one knows what happened to Blackhand. People claim they see him alive, but no one knows. And apparently there is actually a news report that does seem to hint that Blackhand's alive in this. But it's just a hint. That's it. Some agents of some Miltech associated corporation get killed. By a man with a black hand. So, but it would be Black Hand worked for NUSA. He was a solo in their employ. So, be interesting to see him suddenly shooting Miltech. So, I don't think they're quite a subsidiary, but they are quite closely linked with Miltech. And isn't Miltech closely linked with NUSA, or were they enemies? I honestly can't remember. It's all kind of muddled in my head. But yeah, the attack on Arasaka's Night City headquarters was a Miltech operation too. Johnny kind of ignored that bit. Apparently, he also didn't come straight from a concert. Samurai had broken up at that point. So there's various inaccuracies in Johnny's memory. I put it down to him just being a narcissistic bastard. Like, remember with Rogue, apparently she was the one who suggested cinema, but Johnny took the credit. He believes he suggested it. It's just a grander version of that. But anyway, that's a different topic. On to the next one.